So yet again, Cyberpunk 2077 has done the absolute impossible. We're going to be talking about a bunch of stuff today, including this right here. Cyberpunk 2077 reportedly had the biggest digital game launch of all time. We're going to be talking about how that compares to also GTA 5. And then check this out. This is a really interesting topic right here. It's been brought to my attention. It says a new Knights of Old Republic game is reportedly in development outside of EA. New studio said to be working on the RPG revival. A lot of people speculate, could it be CD Projekt RED? Is that possible? We'll talk about that a little bit more in this video as well. Plus, how players are handling the new 1.1 update, which of course was a setback for many players. But yeah, a lot of news here to go over. So welcome back, everyone. Hope you're doing good. Overworld Games here, and let's dive straight into the latest news. So yeah, Cyberpunk just keeps doing what I consider to be the impossible, considering all the problems this game has had, the refunds, the lawsuits. It's still one of the biggest games of all time. So it's said to have sold over 10.2 million digital copies. This is absolutely incredible. Now, the source of this information is right here from Superdata, Worldwide Digital Games Market, December 2020. You can see Cyberpunk 2077 sitting comfortably in the #1 spot. But let's read the details about exactly what is going on right here and zoom in for you guys. So it says Cyberpunk had the biggest game launch of all time based on digital revenue and digital units sold, 10.2 million. A successful marketing campaign and the reputation of The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt provided the hype necessary for CD Projekt RED title to break records despite issues including performance problems on consoles, widespread glitches, and the indefinite removal of the game from the PlayStation Store. An extremely high share of digital sales, 80% were on PC, likely due to the delisting on PlayStation and overall state of the console versions. Regardless of the short-term financial success, the critical backlash means the developer will now have to invest significant resources to fixing the game in order to rehabilitate its image before the launch of its next title. That is definitely correct, but my God, to see that the game has done this well and is considered one of the biggest launches ever in gaming history is saying something. And I do hope, I personally do hope that this game comes back big time. A lot of people are crossing their fingers for a No Man's Sky type revival. CD Projekt RED, they have not come out and said that they plan on doing something like that, but hopefully they can work up to some sort of communication to say, hey, this is what our plans are. We plan to really rebuild this game and re-release it in a way, I guess you would say. So we'll see what they say. But a lot of you guys are saying that, you're just going to wait for the game to be fixed. So yeah, that's another thing. But let's talk about this Knights of the Old Republic rumor right here. Check it out. This comes from VideoGamesChronicles.com and a bunch of other sources, including Bloomberg's Jason Schreier as well. So let's take a look at the details right here. And this is going to be in development outside of Electronic Arts. Whoa. It says that's according to multiple sources, including credited Star Wars insider Bespin Bulletin, which states in a recent podcast that a new installment in the fan favorite RPG series is indeed in development at an unnamed game developer. Now, I've seen several articles, and everyone is bringing up, of course, CD Projekt RED and a few other developers as well. I'll give my own opinion here in just a moment as to who I think could be developing this game. It says it's been reported before that a new KOTOR game is in the works, but this is the first suggestion that it might be in development outside of its original creator, Bioware and EA, which until recently was the only major company making a Star Wars game. Lucasfilm announced this month that it would be licensing Star Wars games to other companies, including Ubisoft, as part of its new games label. According to Bespin Bulletin and others, KOTOR is seemingly one of the titles that has been handed to a developer outside of Electronic Arts. My question is, would you like to see CD Projekt RED try to tackle the Star Wars license sound off? It says, as well as citing its own sources, the insider also references recent comments by Bloomberg journalist Jason Schreier, suggesting that a new game was in development somewhere unexpected. Ooh, the plot thickets. It says, amongst my digging, I heard there is a Knights of the Old Republic project in development somewhere, Bessman Bulletin said. I talked to a couple of people, and I also found out that Jason Schreier said that it's not with EA, and will never guess who the studio is that's making this game. You know, one thing that CD Projekt RED has done really well, at least with Cyberpunk 2077, and even The Witcher 3 was building a cool looking world. I know it's not as interactive as they had promised, of course, but you can kind of imagine what could have been. And I could just imagine a city like Coruscant under this engine. You know, this engine is super impressive in many ways. I know that I just feel like they released the game too early with Cyberpunk 2077. But yeah, a lot of people also have noted, hey, don't let CD Projekt RED touch the Star Wars license. That's how a lot of people are feeling. So it's interesting. If they were considering working with CD Projekt RED, Lucasfilm's game, if they were actually looking at this studio, now I think they might be in doubt, wondering if they should even go with CD Projekt RED. Same thing happened in the movie industry when the Game of Thrones guys were supposed to be directing a Star Wars game. In the middle of that whole agreement and arrangement, they released the Game of Thrones finale, and the deal was off the table. Lucasfilm did not want to work with them. So yeah, maybe that could be actually what potentially could happen here with CD Projekt RED. Maybe they were being considered, and then Lucasfilm was like, nope, we don't want you guys touching Knights of the Old Republic. Or let me know, do you guys think they should have a go at a Star Wars game? Sound off. Now let's continue. It says, on broader plans for Star Wars games, the insider said that he heard that a bounty hunter game was being developed somewhere and that EA was working on a smaller Star Wars game. I don't know if the bounty hunter game is with them or if it's with Ubisoft, but yeah, EA is working on stuff. And there's another unannounced Star Wars game at EA, which I have no idea what it is. I don't think it's Battlefront 3. Oh man, there's been so many rumors, by the way, about Battlefront 3 as well circulating around. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. By the way, check out my twin bro Ryan. He covers all this stuff at Star Wars HQ. See the link in the top pinned comment and the description below. Now it says this as well. Another person who occasionally shares information on unannounced games, Nate Jada of Wuxia Studios. Apologies if I got that wrong. Says corroborated the claims that the new KOTOR is in development. So a lot of people are saying that Knights of the Old Republic is happening. He says this, it's not as mysterious as you think. It's just not a household name most people are aware of. And he's referring to the developer right there. So it's not a household name that most people are aware of. I do feel like perhaps, of course, CD Projekt RED is a name that most people know of by now. I start wondering if like the Metro Exodus team could make something RPG like. I love their games, by the way. I'm just going to say I feel like they could be an absolutely powerhouse of a studio here in the next decade. 5 to 10 years, that studio could be absolutely huge given the chance. But also, you know, another studio I think of is, of course, Obsidian Entertainment and Arcane Studio. So those would be the ones that I would be eyeballing realistically for this Knights of Old Republic game. CD Projekt RED, I'm not too sure. That seems like that might be a bit of a stretch for sure. But I've seen some comments rolling around where they're like, yeah, could it be CD Projekt RED? So it seems like a lot of people still have some faith in CD Projekt RED, but I've also seen a lot of comments where it's like, hey, don't let them touch anything like Star Wars. So let me know what side of the fence you are on with this discussion. And it is time to go over your top comments. So remember, leave a comment down below for a chance for it to end up in a future video. Let's do this, shall we? All right, so the last video I did was right here. It says the big update is a total disaster, graphics downgrades, and new bugs. Let's see what you guys had to say about this one. It says the bike bug was already in there before the patch. Well, that's not good. It should be removed pretty quickly, I would think. It says Rude Groen Wood says legendary armor should have the max amount of slots by default. That's why it's called legendary. Josh Mason says, done with this game for the time being. It's just making it painful every time they do something. Yeah, anytime they say something, do something, it just seems like there's more pain, man. We need, like, a really good sign from Cyberpunk at this point. Something to turn around the bad news. Brune says, when I played Cyberpunk, I feel I'm playing a paid early access game even more after this patch. A lot of people are actually finding ways to revert to the previous patch. I kid you not. Look at these Split says, man, it's really disappointing that they didn't just delay it till it's ready. They are trying to swim a marathon, but still need floaties to keep from drowning. That's a good one. Gino Gesso says, they honestly should have just released it as an early access like when they did with Baldur's Gate 3. Because it's honestly an alpha right now at best. You know, I'm starting to think that's probably what they should have done. Look at this. Just slap an early access tag on that bad boy. Put that sticker on there. Ashton says, the devs weren't kidding when they said they needed until 2022 for this game to be ready. Yeah, I think those rumors aren't false. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if there were a bunch of developers saying, hey, we want this game to be delayed as long as possible. But a bunch of other comments here. This one got me. He says, wondering what Mike Pondsmith thinks of all this. Having one of his creations mired in controversy can't be a good thing. He's got to be just devastated, honestly. And I'm also curious to see what Keanu Reeves actually thinks of this as well. Here's another comment. Everyone, fix the game. CD Projekt RED. More bugs, LOL. Just release the patches. Don't test them. Same thing happened with Anthem. Same thing happened with Fallout 76. Yep. All right, so there you have it. The latest happenings around Cyberpunk 2077. Let me know who you think should develop a Star Wars game, the Knights of the Old Republic. Sound off in the comments down below. I'm curious to see what you guys have to say. But thank you for watching, and I will see you all next time. Take care.